You imagine yourself a young knight from a child's story, marrying the princess. But you must know, Pip, I have no heart.
I say, Pip, old chap, never the best of friends.
Never the best of friends, Joe.
Come along, boy. Do you wish to see Miss Havisham?
Come here, let me look at you. Are you sullen and obstinate?
No, Mum.
He's a common neighbouring boy. You could break his heart.
What do you think of her?
I think she's very pretty.
You may kiss me, if you like.
He has come into a handsome fortune. It is the desire of the benefactor that he be brought up as a gentleman in London. There are conditions, of course. The first is that the name of the benefactor remain a profound secret.
You kiss my hand as if I was a queen.
Pip, when you say you love me, I understand it, but it touches nothing. Here.
I've been made that way.
I was under the impression that the Finches was a club for gentlemen. Who are you? How did you get in here?
I'm a chap. I've made a gentleman of you.
Is it true?
You are prohibited from making any inquiries into this question.
She's beautiful. She's graceful. You admire her.
How can you give your affections to that man? The looks and smiles you never give to me.
You want me to deceive you?
Do you deceive him?
Yes! All men but you.
Jaggers, you must tell me.
If he's found, he will hang.
You risked your life to come to me.
You believed what you chose to believe.
Was that kind?
Who am I to be kind?
I was sent for life. It's death to come back.
I stole her heart away and put ice in its place.
It's not natural.
It is natural in me.
Yet still, I love you.
The book's protagonist is a young boy named Philip Pirrip, also known as a Pip. Pip is a young orphan boy being raised by his sister and brother-in-law in England. He has the motive to better himself at being more respectful and educated. Pip begins his life in Kent, which is a marshy country southeast of England. He is raised by his sister and brother-in-law, Mr. and Mrs. Joe. Mrs. Joe is an overbeating figure to Pip. She concluded by throwing me. I often served as a connubial missile at Joe, and quietly fenced me up there with his great leg. This is stated by Pip, who is also the narrator throughout the entire book. Pip struggled growing up in his early years. His actual parents did not raise him, and the lady whom he grew up with did not treat him very kindly. He, like Mrs. Joe, tended to expect more for himself than what was reasonable. His entire family was economically unstable and struggled financially, so Pip's desire to be rich made it even more of a struggle to grow up.
Start it.
Pip grew up with a family that was economically unstable and struggled financially. Pip transformed into a middle-class citizen after spending half of his life living as a peasant. Midway through the story, Pip becomes Mr. Joe's apprentice as a blacksmith. He works there miserably and thinks of the forge as a factor for his struggle to better his education. After a while, Pip goes from being a depressed blacksmith to a young and content clerk working for his great friend Herbert. In the end of the novel, Pip seems to be satisfied with his life and has gotten rid of most of his expectations due to achieving his aspiration to becoming a wealthy and knowledgeable high-class worker. Throughout the book, we know that Pip slowly emerges from low class to leisure class. This is all due to his self-motivation to become a wise and wealthy gentleman for his one love, Estella. Estella is Pip's dream throughout the novel, and Pip hopes to one day become good enough for the prosperous and emotionless young girl. Toward the end of the book, he realizes that his desire to be in a higher social position is not the most important quality to possess, and that his behavior as a gentleman has caused him to mistreat the people that care about him the most. Pip and the author of the novel, Charles Dickens, have many similarities. Dickens had a difficult childhood and struggled as a boy. Due to his father's imprisonment, he was forced to leave school to work at a boot-blacking factory. Like his character Pip, Dickens also was an uneducated and unsophisticated young boy. He was required to drop out of school in order to work to provide financial assistance to his family. When Dickens was 15, his education was pulled away from him once again. In 1827, he had to drop out yet again and work as an office clerk to contribute to his family's income. This job turned out to be a major factor to launching his writing career. Soon after, Dickens began reporting at the law courts of London, and a few years later, after that, he began reporting for 2 major newspapers in London. This first success for him would catch the eye of Catherine Hogarth, whom he soon married. They would go on to have 10 children before being separated in 1858. Unlike Pip, Dickens seems to have never sufficiently suppressed the lessons or expectations of his own life and success.